Welcome back. So despite Eskom's aggressive maintenance, stage 2 load shedding is currently underway and will remain for another day. The utility says high electricity usage and unplanned breakdowns brought on the latest bout of power cuts. Electricity Minister Dr. Kgosientsho Ramokgopa says despite these issues, Eskom is committed to its winter plan, adding that there will be consequences if the various power stations fail to play their part. Newzroom Afrika's Vuyolwethu Yamba reports.
Load shedding made a comeback this week, but despite this hiccup, Eskom CEO says some of the units that experienced downtime are back in operation and that the planned maintenance schedule is forging ahead.
The important aspect at this point in time in the calendar year is that our planned maintenance needs to be tapering down. We indicated that by the middle of May, the anticipation is to have planned maintenance below 5,000 megawatts and gradually towards 4,000. We are already below 5,000. We're not seeing the benefit of that because we've got the slippages that we have to deal with. It's primarily around some 6 units in Duva, in Grootvlei, Kriel, Medupi and Tutuka, and the teams are hard at work bringing those units back into operation. In fact, some of them have started coming through.
Despite the aggressive maintenance, Stage 2 load shedding will remain in effect until Thursday.
Our teams will, of course, assess the situation every day at midday, and today at midday the same exercise will be undertaken to assess where we are and how the evening looks like.
Despite implementing Stage 2 load shedding, Electricity Minister Kgosientsho Ramokgopa says the utilities' winter plans are on track.
In the winter outlook, we make the point that we are entering this winter of 2025 on a much more better footing than we did the winter of 2024. And what are those key features from a generation point of view? The first one was that we are entering this confidently in that Kubek unit number 2 was synchronized to the grid on the 30th of December 2024. And then Kubek unit number 1, although it's out, but we are projecting that it's going to come back in July of 2025 when we'll be at the peak of the winter period. So as the point is that during this winter, we're going to have the benefit of all of the Kubek units at least by July of 2025.
However, Ramokgopa did acknowledge that efforts to limit planned maintenance have been unsuccessful.
This represents, I think, a failure on our part to ensure that there's proper management of the OEMs, and then that has resulted in outage slips. The executive management team will be engaging first with the general managers at the various power stations. I think there has to be an appreciation that we have entered a new domain, and that domain requires that although we have registered significant progress, but I think we're getting to a point where there has to be consequence management. If there's a promise to bring a unit by this date, we're not sitting with a money problem, we're not sitting with a skills capacity issue, we are sitting with the ability for us to do proper planning and ensure that the units are able to come back.
Ramokgopa emphasized that transparency is a priority to the power utility as it works to eliminate load shedding. For Newzroom Afrika on Channel 405, I am Vuyolwethu Yamba in Pretoria.